Aquarius, how you doing? So I am back in the UK. I'm back in the USSR. Well, actually, not the USSR. The back in the UK. So I have just landed. I have literally just walked in, probably about 15 minutes ago, and I feel fantastic. I feel really good. So, and it's really hot actually in the UK. So I don't know who's commented or who, but thank you all so much for your support. So let's see where we're going. I'm just going to do a few quick readings for people. So today for me is the 23rd. So we're going to do from the 23rd to the 31st. Okay, so let's have a look. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising on Venus. You might be dealing with a Leo. There's Leo coming out for the pre-shuffle and under the deck. Strength. Have the strength, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising on Venus. The strength to actually go forth on a new project, a new feeling, a new desire. Let's see. Too many cards. Aquarius, stop talking, Steve. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising on Venus. There you go. So the tails hit. So there you go, an awakening. Someone's had an awakening to the truth. Somebody has, this is like a brand new start, like a brand new start. Why don't you take another little piece of my heart? So somebody took something, so somebody gained something. You have to let something go in order to let something in to begin something new. So it's something old or something new. So this is an awakening. This is the truth. This is like standing on eggshells. So something ended maybe because there was a lot of fucking dynamics. This is a dynamic, okay? So it's a 7 or so. So it's like an energy, a conductive energy of negative and positive, where someone could be real negative. So when we look at things from the past, the retrograde things that happen, people can come back from people's pasts, okay? And then what happens is that if somebody is attached to an energy around, is what I'm learning a lot through energy now, is that can conduct an energy where it's like a current and it travels through you and them and it pulls you that way or pulls them that way, vice versa, and then it gets you to think of negative things. And then this is a projection screen where it projects fear, blame, anxiety, eggshells, like aggressive, being over aggressive. This can be, it can also be masturbation for some people. But I'm not really picking that up because it's like self kind of stuff, you know. So it's like alone. It's like home alone. I'm now home alone, or I'm home. I'm home. Johnny's home. But somebody can return from people's past through retrograde, okay? And it pulls on your memories and pulls on your heartstrings, so you think it's not, it's your head. So it pulls on your head, so that's why it's an awakening. It pulls on your head to make you think of negative things, and then you project it onto the future, and you project it onto manifesting, so above, so below. So then what you do, this is Scorpio rising. So I actually have Scorpio rising, I actually have Venus in Aquarius, right? So this is Scorpio rising. So this can be like where it's like, you know, just gosh, it's just a new beginning, it's a new start, it's a fresh new outlook, a fresh new beginning. Something has ended, but the good thing about an ending is a beginning. It ended because things ended because there was a negative influence. This is always a negative influence, but it's always a good influence because you always have clarity after the tower. The tower always hits where it's like, well, fucking hell, that was dynamic. That was dynamic. And now I feel awoken now. I feel like my spirit is alive now. Spirit is talking to me now, and it has woke me up to a path or a project where I know that now I have to start again. If it's work and it's finances, or if it's a project, or if it's home life, or if it's a career or anything, or love, it means like now there's a brand new beginning. There's a fresh outlook of life that comes into play, but it's always a negative and a positive, you see. And it works with tarot. Through your left hand you have a positive conductor, and a right hand you have a negative conductor, okay? And that is your meridian system that flows through your body and your light source of your head, and you can do that with your head. You can pull negative energy from your head by using healing of hands, you know, so you would be a light worker, you'd have healing hands, okay? So, but you can do that, and I can do videos on that, but this is where when you add a negative to a negative response, if someone is literally shouting and screaming at you and you're very calm, sometimes they don't like that because what they want is a negative response, okay? So a negative and a negative causes a negative outlook and a negative response. So that's why things ended, because someone was very negative, someone was calm probably, and it wasn't a calming influence, and then it made this person negative because it was a connection of probably retrograde that pulled them into a negative response. Then they project it, they blame it, they tell people that all people are the same, blah, 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 blah. And we go into a cycle of destruction. Okay, it needs to end because this is parts of the ego. Awakening to the ego, awakening to the pride that keeps the ego alive, awakening to the truth of the fact of one's self, that there's not an alignment. That's why things ended. Okay, the Tower. It's always an egg. It's my eggshells card. You know, you stand on eggshells. You can't do anything right, or you do, or vice versa, and you're not in alignment with the person because there's negative and negative, and it makes a response of arguing. I don't argue, I just move. So you create a new project or a new home. I just move away from negative people or negative responses because it keeps your mind where you can't think. You can't think, and you argue, and you're like, I just can't argue. That's the feeling of the Tower. I can't argue with you. You just do my heading or blah, 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 blah. So you move, awakening to the truth. The truth might have come into someone or something's ended. Yeah. Five of Wands, fighting, ego. The ego, the mind, this is the mind. Someone plays a lot of mind games, a lot of conflict around this. This can be inner conflict, external conflict, blame, society, then you can blame family members, and then you get into a fight with those, and they get into a fight with you, because it's all coming from the mind. These are actions, but they're all still part of the mind. It all plays parts in the mind. These are mind games that someone plays as well to keep you stuck, to stop people, well, to make people fight. I just want to fight, you know. It's not fight night, bruv. You're not like, you're not Brad Pitt, right? Well, I don't know. He might be watching. All right, Brad, you getting on much? So let's see. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus. From the 23rd to the 31st. Oh, too many cards. Too many cards. Sorry, but I really am hot at the moment. It's because I've literally just got home. So yeah, I really am hot at the moment. So it could be to do with a Leo, or children, or home life. So the center of the universe is the sun, and it brings in prosperity. It brings in love and joy and happiness after an ending. It brings in peace of mind. Peace of mind, you know. But it's also to do with soul growth, evolution of one's soul and ego, of realizing that there's now clarity of like settlement. I'm picking up a settlement. Someone might just be settling, you know. I mean, this is like advice wise, you can't settle for things that are very destructive, but it feels like a very dynamic energy of like light and prosperity, but then darkness. So there's light that's being shone on this situation where now it's ended, and someone has now found clarity now, where it's like, wow, I feel good. I feel good. Ba-da-da-da-da-da, like I know I should now, right? Or it could just mean a Leo. But the sun brings in more of an awakening. It brings in, I mean, it could literally just be fucking hot where you are, right? So, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus. It's because it's like the truth, you know. It's where retrograde is now kind of like really subsiding. People have gone through that dynamic. There's been a lot of things that have happened through this retrograde, I feel, for a lot of people. And it's ended a lot of karmic situations. And if people don't end them, then you will continue on your path doing the same thing with the same person. Or if not, there's an ending to that, but there's light that's shone upon it, where the energy now has subsided, and it's kind of like, there's been growth, there's been rebirth of the soul for sure. Definitely Scorpio rising. Definitely this is Scorpio rising because it's rebirth, you know, so it rises up. It rises up. You rise me up, 'cause I'm about a hero. So let's see. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus. 23rd to the 31st. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus. I've got to get used to handling the cards again. So there you go. So rebuilding, working again, concentrating more on work, concentrate more on yourself. Got two sevens between Leo, but two sevens between children. So you've got the work that might be coming between children where just things are like, oh, Jesus Christ, the kids are doing my head in, man. Maybe, or family or something. Or where it's like, well, after this ending, there was an ending, but at least I feel good now. I feel good, right? At least I feel good now. At least I feel safe now, and I feel warm, and I feel happiness, and I feel at home with my family, or I just feel more centered at home, because this is center. It's the center of the universe, and it's the center of the truth of all of us, of seven, right? So it aligns you with two sevens, which is you feel more settled after this dynamic ending, where now there's no negative energy around, and you feel separated from yourself and your soul, where there's probably an overall general feeling of like happiness and like sleep. Like someone could have had sleep deprivation, but now there's a chance to now rebuild. This is, if you're looking at this with love, this is someone that you've had like investment with. You've invested time into the person, and you've probably invested a lot of time. Some of you it could be a short period of time, some of you it could be a long period of time, right? But you've realized now that because of this ending, it's made a lot of endings where it's healed like the home life. Like there's now around pretty much a place of residency, or wherever you are, or family. This is where I start picking up the Doreen Virtue stuff, which is like healing family issues. It's made people realize more about what you have is what you have, and be grateful for what you actually have, and that the place of residency of where you are now feels like home. It feels more, you feel more at home. It feels like home. It feels like your place of residency, and it feels like that with the children that you have, that there's more growth and life that's been put into this situation because of what happens through release of energy, through gaining clarity of mind. When your mind's all at rest and your mind's at peace, then you get to have these moments, and you've got another seven here now. You've got good options and choices now that you can now use for work. I'm picking up. You know something about yourself. You've learned a lot of things about yourselves, Aquarius, and that you've now want to invest. I mean, people always say, oh, well, people have loads of options. People might, they might or they might not. Tarot card's never really going to tell you, but this card can always mean, because it's part of the ego, you see. This here is what gets dangled in front of you, what rips out to say, well, bruv, look, this is the ego. This is what keeps the pride alive, of people always having options. But the people always that have loads of options, people always have options over them, because if they have loads of them, chances are it's hearsay. It's hearsay. And you have 13 on the clock, which is 2 4s, okay? Which is 8, which is where you listen to the universe. 7 aligns us with the self. 8 is where we listen, and we could be clairvoyant, and we listen to what the universe is saying, which is saying, invest now back into yourself. Invest now at work. Take the right choices and the right options, Don't live in fantasy and illusion, because this can be very much of a fantasy and illusion, where someone's just like, well, my God, because you can be in fantasy land, some people can be in fantasy land. This has not come out, but through this, it leads to karmic illusion. Where you lose your mind, and you're like, well, does someone have options, or do they not have options, or do I have options, or do I not have options? Will someone have options over me? And you can get lost in all that kind of confusion, So it's metaphysical law also, but you've got 3 7s, which are extremely lucky, because it aligns you with everybody. You align yourself with the universe, which is everybody. It was created by one source, which was everybody, and how you manifest, that did come out through the pre-shuffle, or when they fell. It aligns you with the universe, so you settle more. So the base chakra, the base chakra, so you would also have like the Wheel of Fortune that may come out. It aligns you with that energy of like feeling more settled and relaxed and at home, and it gives you a chance now. Someone's waiting on a return on my investment. Like, it might be karmically, it might be where there might be Libra involved, but there might be like some kind of scale that needs to be balanced now with money, where now I need to like reinvest back into my job or place of residency, and I need to now tidy up. This is like I used to sweeping up the Emerald Bar. Someone's sweeping up the Queen song, Wings. Spread your wings. You know, spread your wings and fly away, fly away, fly away. Should have been sweeping up the Emerald Bar. Someone could be having a drink at the bar. At the bar. Bartender? Barkeep? Barkeep? Keeping up appearances is what I heard. Keeping up appearances. Mrs. Bucket. Keeping up... Well, we've got to keep up appearances. We've just got to keep up appearances. We've got to keep the spirit alive. Aquarius, something rising in Venus. I'm really not feeling... Wow. So you've got another 7. You've got Pisces. Not really Virgo. Pisces. It is Pisces, really, to me. But secrets. Someone's holding secrets. This is the desire. This is right. So if this comes down to metaphysics, this is where this, because this can be here, these two cards here, this is where this is felt by someone, where you where it can be self masturbation. For if you were concordant with like obviously soulmate energy, this is like psychically dreaming and psychically thinking. But sometimes people can hold that as a secret and keep that as a secret, but you can feel that through a connection of someone, because this is a warm energy. So it can also be like an energy vampire and an energy thief, but because it's both here, this is like sexual desire. So if you are psychically connected with soulmate, if you've got more than 1, 2, 3 or 7 options. So if you've got like loads of options, or they have loads of options, you're not going to know your head from your arsehole, and you're going to not know who's what and who's doing what and thinking what and doing what. So this is where you feel it through a connection of like law of metaphysics. It's just a feeling. It's that warm feeling that you can have, that sexual desire that you can also have with someone. Could be a Scorpio or a Scorpio rising. But this is like you've got 7, 7, 7, and then 7 came out again. So there's a lot of truths that are hidden. There is someone that is now very sexually guarded, where someone blocks themselves out sexually, they try to block that, and they try to keep that as a secret, and it could be an entrapment energy, because this can be an entrapping energy here, okay? And someone could hold that as a secret and hold that over someone, but they still think about them. They still think about them. This is a lot of thinking, and like sexual thinking, sexual healing, sexual thinking, and this is a lot of like psychic thinking and healing, but also secrets, but also like very protective and guarded, like guarding a secret, like trying to protect a secret of something, of somebody being very aggressive, like this is a projection screen. This is somebody that projects out blame. You blame me, I blame them, they blame you, and then I blame you and I blame them, and everybody in blame. And then it leads to a lot of offensive and defensive lessons of an offense-defense. So you back away very slowly is what I do. I don't say much. I try to remain calm. But obviously if someone's completely battering your ear hole, you end up you just lose your shit. So the best way, what you do is you move away, and you cause the tower, and you realise that there's an ending. So that's what caused this. So then you find more clarity by that. But then you also have this Pisces energy here, or probably Virgo, but Piscean energy. But there's a lot of truths that are also still hidden because of this card here, right? That someone has choices, options, or think that they do. This is I hold the key and the secret and think, but it might mean that someone just says that they do, but they don't. You know, it can be. This is why it's always gained best clarity of moving away from people that cause a lot of conflict, because you can't think, you can't speak. This is someone that won't let you speak. The moment you speak, they blame you for something, and then they blame you for something else, and then something else, and then you have to defend yourself, and then you feel offensive defensive by someone shouting and screaming in your ear, and then you think, well, fuck it, I have to now say something, and then you become very offensive defensive, and that's what causes this tower over and over again, because of projection of blame. You know, someone gets connected with somebody here, okay, and then it causes fear, and this is fear, okay, fear, and then this is like messaging, just like fiery, like real quick messages, like, right? It can, I mean, it can be a good energy. It depends if this, because this can be someone new, okay, new, because it's fresh and new, and it can mean someone new after this ending that you've had, okay. Could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or Scorpio rising. I normally pick that up as. But you've got Leo, Pisces energy, and fire energy. But there's a lot of sevens on the board. There is, and they are like self-deceit, but reinvestment into oneself because of offensive and defensive eggshell walking. It's like walking on coal, like you know that if you walk on coal you're going to get burned, okay. So it's like treading light ground, like trying to seek higher ground but treading ground, like someone's trying to be careful. They're trying to be careful and not careless. Some people can be, I'm not really picking up on careless, like careless whisper is what I heard. Careless whisper, you're breaking my heart, but the very next day you turn it away. This year, to save me from tears, I gave it to someone special. Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day, you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I gave it to someone. So someone might have given something else to somebody else, is what I'm feeling. They might have had options, and they gave that. They probably had sex with somebody else. Maybe. And I gave it away. A baby, a child. I gave it away last Christmas. I gave it away, or something, or my virginity for some people. My virginity. Oh, I hope there's not young people that are watching, because this can be children. There could have been a loss of a child, because this is an ending, and there could have been like a loss, and this means children, and there might have been like a loss of a child, and someone might have put up a child for adoption. I'm hearing adoption, and that's a secret. That's a secret, that somebody gave up a child for adoption. That's not everybody. I'm just I wonder what this secret is. It's something to do with the ending, but a loss of like losing something, like a lose-lose battle of the ego, but pride. Someone's too prideful to release this desire, but it's something to do with the loss of a child, maybe, or being codependent on children or something, because this is children. This is a fire sign child, it would be. So it would be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius if it were relating to children, and this is like the children card, so it might mean a Leo, and someone could be like holding a secret from them about something, holding a secret from a child. Yeah. What we're going to do is we're going to go over onto Patreon, but now I am actually here. There are other people, and I really do appreciate there's a lot of other people since I got back, checked my emails, and everybody's joined Patreon. I really do appreciate it. So this is going to go on Patreon. It will also go over on Vimeo for a short period of time. This will be in the bi-weekly folder, so it's from now from the 23rd to the 31st. But whatever this story is, it's for somebody, and we're going to see what that is, and I'll try and see what these secrets are. I'll obviously retain it to work and love and all that sort of stuff. We'll continue on with the spread, and then I'll clarify a few things to see if I can get channeling again, get used to the cards again. But there's something that's going on. There's something about Mary. I heard it again. There's something about Mary. That was a comedy film, right? This is like, oh my God. Have you seen There's Something About Mary when he's in the toilet? There's something about Mary. Someone's in a bathroom. There's something about Mary. You've missed something in the bathroom. In a closet. Someone's in the closet. Or someone's coming out. Sorry, I just heard someone's coming out. Someone's coming out. Someone's coming out to say something as well. But there's something in also, I don't know why I picked that up. I think someone just said that. I don't know why I just picked that up. I just picked that up. I missed that. Oh, there's something I missed. There's something I missed. Or I'm missing someone or missing something. Anyway, sorry, we're going to go on with this. I'll see what else I can channel. So we're going to go over to Vimeo, also in the bi-weekly folder on Vimeo or Patreon. Okay, Patreon still, you can have access to everything, and I am now back, so I'm going to be getting on with the next month and all that kind of stuff and going on forward with some projects. So Patreon is there for everybody to gain everything, because you can just watch everything as long as you like, and people do know that, but people that don't, you can obviously watch everything, monthlies, bi-weeklies, everything, and it's all on Patreon. Or at the moment on Vimeo. Okay, if you want a reading, I'm back now. If you want a reading, in the description, also the email, and we can go through something like this or whatever you want. Okay? All right, guys, thanks very much for all your support, and I'll hopefully catch you soon. Peace.